Greetings and good morning on this 29 April, this chilly, slightly rainy 29 April from the Republic of Deux-Rivières, the last little village of the Renfrew County / Ottawa Valley. Heading west. The Ottawa River above the Swisha / Ralston Dam is still letting a lot of floodwater down eastwards towards Petawawa, Pembroke and beyond, Ottawa. But I guess there's a reason for it. With the anticipation of the northern thaw, this could get pretty hairy. So it's quite low. You can beachcomb around here when it's low like this. You can even, at this point, there's a series of islands. From my very first video I made, I kayaked over to a abandoned logging camp over there. And you island hop back in the day. It used to be a bridge. And the last island, they had a barge with a tugboat to take trucks and vehicles into the interior. And you can actually walk across there now. This is what I've been waiting for, but I'm on my way west. So maybe next year. I'm Cactus. Welcome to Out and About. Sorry for not updating more. I've been really busy and in a tizzy getting this darn van done so I could head west on my retirement trip. I've given myself 3 to 4 weeks to go west as far as BC, maybe dip down into the States of Washington and come back east through the northern states. We'll see what we get. I left my love of my life this morning with 3 dogs to hold the fort for all this time while she works. We've got some help from my tenant next door. He's going to let the dogs out during the day, so thank goodness for that. So here it is. Here's number 3 of the van build. I know there should be more. I don't show the actual work. I'm not setting up a camera for that, but here's what I got. And I kept it simple. Looks nice. Looks a little fancy maybe, but it was basically pretty simple in comparison to what a lot of other people do. So, 2013 Econoline 250 5.4 liter V8. I got a ladder on the back. I got my bicycle. I was thinking of bringing a kayak, but gas is expensive right now. I didn't want the drag up there. I don't have a cover for the inlet of the kayak, and I didn't want the wind drag blowing inside of it and holding the van back. Blah, blah, blah. So, I've shown this before, I think. I removed this window, put in polycarbonate plexiglass, Lexan, let's say, and installed a fan in there. Because the RV windows I bought for the side, I did say that, wouldn't sit flat because we have curved sides. And the thought of cutting into the metal was mortifying. So there's that, wired in with a fan. I put a ladder on the back. Oh my God, excuse me, I hope I don't do that the whole time. I got so run down and ragged I caught something in my lungs. Something like that I haven't had in years. Anyway, I'm getting over it, I'm feeling better. Up there we got a max fan wired in, so the airflow will come through the back as described before in other videos and go up there, or vice versa, whichever way I switch it. The very last thing I was doing, not the very last, the other day, was putting door panels on and the sheep's wool insulation in the doors. I got 2 layers in there, well insulated. What else? Anything else on the outside? The oil was changed in the fall, so it's got fresh oil. I brought a spare filter and some motor oil so I could get it changed on the road. I don't think I'll do that myself. I didn't bring any special tools or oil pans or nothing to collect it. We'll get it done somewhere. So here it is, the interior. Let's start with this. This is the very last thing I was doing right till 5 o'clock last night before supper. It's been quite a marathon of this build, but I've done it. This is Reflectix I got off Amazon, and some T-Rex duct tape, which is extremely sticky, very strong, good material on it. And these are equipped with Velcro, 3M Velcro, very sticky. And I'll be able to stick these on the windows to keep the heat out and strangers from looking in. I've done that for all 4 van doors. The windshield and the side windows. Last year I bought the WeatherTech coverings that just pop right in, and they're fantastic. Trick. I have my cooler storage, ice. I'm not into electric cooler. I don't think I need it. It's insulated with 1/2 inch or so pink styrofoam, or rigid foam. So I think that'll do the trick. We'll buy some ice once in a while. 2 layers of sheep's wool insulation in the ceiling. We got some lovely 1/4 inch tongue and groove pine. Does it? I can't show you the back, although there's not much to see, because the bike's strapped on and I'm not taking it all off. So we built this lovely bed here, some simple pine doors, nothing fancy. You know, some funny angles you got to cut as to fit, and it's kind of weird. I put in my solar charger. I do have the wire for a fold-up solar panel. I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm not boondocking anywhere for a week or anything, but I could see what voltage is in my batteries. The batteries that came with it were 216 amp hour 6-volt batteries. There was 4 of them. They came with the work van. They were good all winter. I kept them charged, and then suddenly none of them wanted to hold a charge. So I bought 2 more 6-volt batteries, and they're 230 amp hours, and they should be more, way more than I need to power lights, fans, maybe the television I have on the bed back here through the inverter. For the bed, as I said, I've got my daughter's old IKEA bed frame here. Another board as reinforcement / looks, and just to bring it out to match up the doors so I didn't have a big lip. 4-inch mattress off Amazon, pretty thin. Underneath is the IKEA ribs, so I'm not going to have any breathing problems. The foam mattress will be able to breathe. It seems comfy enough though, I'll tell you. Thicker would be better, but I didn't want to lose any more sleeping space here. It's that high because I wanted that cooler to go under there and stay out of the way. So underneath is more storage. Dry food, my dishwashing bucket. There's tools, a little mini cooler, bicycle bags, a few other things, cooking grate. I'd love to show you back there, but that bike's staying on there. I brought a TV, 32 or whatever it is. Maybe I use it, maybe I don't. We'll see. Here's the reflectix for the back windows. I see I cut this out for the fan airflow. Yeah, clothes. That's it. So, destination tonight. It's probably, I was thinking of taking, if anybody knows North Ontario, above North Bay, the 11 going up and around. Kind of desolate, kind of not a lot to see. Kind of, you don't want to run out of gas up there. Just for something different. I'm so used to going on the 17 to Sault Ste. Marie. I want to go around and see if there's any abandoned stuff and something different to see. So we'll aim for that. See where the day takes us. It's pretty far. So join me on this cross-country adventure for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Just a short video for today. Actually, if I find some neat stuff to see, we're going to stop and check it out. But this is it for now. I'm Cactus. See you later. You bad crow. You idle peeping crow. Temagami. I've camped here before in the provincial park. (1929) Temagami Canoe Company. Even just a few short years ago, they would still build canoes there. I wonder if they still exist. I can tell you that place is closed. So brunch, had no breakfast. We'll start with a nice healthy yogurt, granola, some frozen peaches, frozen blueberries, and a banana. Not frozen anymore. They sit on the ice in the cooler, but they thaw overnight, even in the cool air. And it's cold up here in Temagami. Brr. We might get the minuses tonight. And I'll eat these almonds while I drive. Yummers. Bon appetit. A few vacant buildings in Temagami. Even the Century 21 is for sale by Century 21. Probably will pick up in the summer. Okay, we're fed. On we go. The North Ontario town of Englehart. Ontario Northland Railway. Look at this beauty. Gigantic Gothic steam train. Jesus, mud. Unos momentos. The end of an era. Indeed. Have a pause and a read. The Temiskaming and Northern Railway. What a huge, huge machine. Unbelievable. They preserved this pretty good. Think of all the coal and water. Oh my word. Number 701. The big coal cart. Dirty old coal. Here's some specs on this sucker. Have a read of that. Fuel soft coal. Incredible. All right, let's continue up that lonely Highway 11. All right, 91.9 on your FM dial. We're just past Hearst, maybe 20 minutes past Hearst, Ontario. And I was looking for something a little more stealthy, but it's getting late. We've gained a lot of ground today. So I'm literally in a van down by the river. Here we are, day one. And we're gonna make supper. Fire up the old Coleman naphtha stove here. Cut up some potatoes, some onions, fry them up. Throw in some chopped steak in the end. And a little teriyaki for flavor, salt and pepper, olive oil. And that's supper. So we'll see how that goes. It's raining. I don't want to really cook inside with a Coleman stove, but I'll light it outside, bring it in, and see how it goes. We got food. I don't want to cook in the van much anymore. It's like, I have fans, it steams it up, but it's going to smell like a Mexican taco stand in here. I got some onions with potatoes, rather potatoes with onions, salt and pepper. I didn't bring any spices. And I fried up some stewing beef. Half of the stuff I have, I put the other half away. With, what's it called? Teriyaki. Hopefully kind of medium rare-ish. Let's see what we got here. Potatoes could be a little bit softer because I was impatient. I was getting pretty worried by cooking it here. I put the fire extinguisher under the driver's seat, which is crammed pretty tight by the mob box that's there, the big plastic box. I'll have to put that in a more accessible area, like the passenger seat, so I can open up the side door and grab it, in case there's like a fire in here. Lord forbid. Okay, good potatoes. Beef. Yummy. Need some more salt. That's your typical discount grocery store beef. Stewing beef, sorry. Hit and miss. Sometimes it's chewy. Sometimes it's perfect. This one's in between. Himalayan pink sea salt in my van life van, which is probably mined in Pakistan. Well, there you go. I wonder. And this isn't a van life channel. This is like a whatever, getting out and about. Yeah, this is just a salty old vet who's taking a little retirement trip across the country. So, you're not going to see any drones zooming through the air. I don't have one. I wish I did. No operatic music. No fake bird sounds. That'll come later. A little bit. Not too much. I watched one the other day. Guy in the desert. Epic drone shots. It's quite beautiful, and I love watching them. Don't get me wrong. But the bird sound editing he put in had roosters crowing in the back, and he was supposed to be remotely in the desert, like way, way back there. So, we'll see where I go. I'm a horrible editor. Bad with computers. Started off really rough on YouTube. Slowly creeping my way there. Unfortunately, my editor broke. Don't say any names. A lesser version, unnamed, that I paid for, with no support now. So I've got another online free one, and it works fantastic. I just gotta train my dumb brain how to use it. So, for now, we're just gonna take a trip across Canada. I'm gonna see relatives, friends, and see what we see. Try and slow down a bit and stop and check everything out. I didn't want to do that today because I had a destination of Hearst. That's an all-day drive. That's a big drive. So, and it was crappy and cold and raining, so not much to stop for. So if I push it to something like really brand new and get out of Ontario, get it into the prairies, I'll see something unique and different, hopefully, and a lot of nothing in between. Anyway, I'm gonna eat my supper. Stay tuned. That's day one, just past Hearst, Ontario. Supper's made, I'm fed, I'm watered. It is 9:35 at night. Not too bad, kind of early, but I want to get going early, so thanks for joining me on my trip, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Day number 2 of my cross-country trip. This is Out and About. I'm Cactus in Long Lac, Ontario, at the only place that you can get coffee, a Robin's Donuts. Robin's Donuts are quite rare nowadays. Check this out. North Ontario Raven. Look at the size of this bastard. Huge. What are you eating, like whole moose? Good grief. You garbage picker. You slacking idle bag, get out of there. Oh my God, that's gigantic. Maybe you're just fat from eating garbage. Yeah, real good folks up here, very friendly. But it's a mess. It's dirty everywhere. They just throw stuff everywhere. Not the most scenic looking places, these North Ontario towns. A lot of run down stuff. We're heading for Nipigon. Got cheap gas in Nipigon. I'm going to assume that's an indigenous gas station. We'll see. And then we're going to go to at least to Thunder Bay today. Jellicoe, North Ontario. Some abandoned stuff around here. Kind of looks like an old school. More of Jellicoe. This would have been a nice grand old house. Cedar shakes. Well, we're not going to go in. There's a sign. Another house there. I don't know if that one is occupied or not. Look at this place. It would have been beautiful. Just left to rot. Over here looks almost like another school or municipal building, all closed up. Possibly an old railway line here. Possibly. I would say yes. Interesting. Yeah, there's some rail, not ties, but rails right there, steel rails. I'm thinking, oh, I was just in these sheds here. The little one was a well for water. It's full of copper pipes and pumps and stuff. No more doors left on them. The other shed was for storage, I guess, for oils and greases. They're both insulated, of course, because it's so cold up here in the winter. So I'm willing to bet this looks like a rail yard at one time for whatever forestry or mining they had going on. That was probably some sort of housing for railroad workers is going to be my best guess. I don't think there'd be a school out there. And besides, back here in the village look like the old school. So if there are kids here, my God, all these little towns now I'm going through, I wonder where they go to school. I did pass 2 ambulances with lights on and 2 OPPs. I wonder if this was why. That's sad. That rolled right in there. That's brutal. I guess they pick it up later. Nasty. Woo! Trucks rule the road here. Yes, I've been noticing some larger fishing type boats around here. That looks like a little old tug. We're near Lake Nipigon. I would have to say maybe there's a commercial pickerel or walleye fishing operations here. And the little diesel's gone. I just parked here and there's an old wrecker I see. 1940s. The front end's gone though. Cool old rusty gold. Just got off Highway 11, got some gas on the reserve. That was a lot cheaper, hallelujah. And we're on our way to Thunder Bay on Highway 17. What an interesting bridge. So much for the fence. That was a nice place. Thunder Bay, Ontario. I gotta hit up a Canadian Tire and get a Coleman stove pump and some washer fluid. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Thunder Bay. The good, great outdoors. The bad, all this industrial crap and incredible homeless drug problem. It's like the most per, is capita the right word? The most per capita of drugs. Terrible problem. It's really suffering. Every city is though, isn't it? But this one's particularly bad. I got a buddy that's from here that I worked with. He does not miss the Thunder Bay. I'm sure there's lots of good stuff to it as well, but it's a rough town. rough North Ontario town. I better get used to this long straight stretch stuff without the trees. That's the prairies. I just went through a different time zone. I've gained an hour, and I didn't even consider that. I haven't thought about it, so I might drive an extra hour. Ignace, Ontario. Did I say that right? Ignace? So here we are, end of the day, 6:30, well, almost 7. And yeah, I used that extra hour. This is a road to a gravel pit that's gated off on the gas pipeline, and the highway's over there. You can see that white sign or whatever. It's kind of stealthy, although if I open the door, the marker lights will come on. Somebody might see that, but I think we're good here. We're near the little town of Wabigoon, near Dryden. So we're gonna hunker down, eat something, and we're not gonna film me cooking supper again because we've seen that. And we'll get out of Ontario tomorrow. The old Coleman new pump gasket made out of leather. I was surprised to see leather. I thought they were still like rubber nowadays. It's replaced. It's covered in olive oil, and it works good. Cooking up supper well. Olive oil. Yeah, it smells wonderful. Fruity and yummy, and you try not to over smoke it. Good for you too. My girl and I, we buy olive oil margarine, which is, you know, somebody walking through the factory of motor oil they're brewing, and they spit out of their mouth a bit of olive oil they just had a swig of, and they call it olive oil margarine. So yeah, that makes us feel better. Hopefully it's better. Olive oil smells good. Even the cheap 10W30 that you buy at the lesser grocery stores just smells good. And apparently good for you. Butter used to be good for you, but then there's like, you read the label and I see there's trans fat in butter. Like, why? How can that happen? Doesn't it have to be homogenized to be trans? Or oh, the whole trans thing. It just confuses me. Anyway, yeah. Try and eat healthy. Try and keep it simple. Don't get consumed on one stupid diet. Just kind of figure out what works for you, and keeps you a little on the lean side and makes you feel good. Just taking a cruise around Dryden, Ontario. Remember these cars? We just drove the crap out of them. Treated them like poop. They were so ugly, and now somehow they're so beautiful. Fantastic driving cars. Superb quality. Old Chevy. Okay, Dryden. Hey, a shout out to this Dodge dealership here. I drove back that vintage van a couple of years ago from Winnipeg, and the battery was froze and the washer was froze, and Jesus, they boosted me, and they let me use their garage, and the mechanic let me use his tools to take the washer bottle out and thaw it out and put some fresh stuff in, and they didn't charge me like any labor, or just super friendly. McKinsey or something like that, the Dodge dealer in Dryden. Fantastic people, very friendly, very helpful. They didn't have to do that. Didn't charge me a dime. I got the battery at Canadian Tire, and it worked out. Okay, so just leaving Dryden now. I've heard Dryden can be stinky from the mill. Must be pulp and paper. Pulp and paper is generally pretty stinky. But just touring around their downtown, it's not like one main street. It's It's got squares, you know, it's got several parts of the downtown. Very old school looking. I know there's a lot of run down things in northern Ontario, and this time of year with no foliage it looks even worse, but it's just a nice old school feeling. There's railroad and mills, and you know, there's lots of work and commerce going on, and industrial, and it just seems like a old school alive town, and it's pretty cool. It's something we've lost where I live. It's an industrial all dried up and went away, and the area I live in didn't learn to adapt to something else, like tourism. The Ottawa Valley is a gold mine of tourism that's not tapped. But yeah, really neat to see. I got a new appreciation for Dryden, I think. What a rainy day. Kenora, Ontario. The last significant town in northwest Ontario. Interesting story I hit upon on YouTube. A clip from W5, this documentary series. The CTV documentary series that called W5 that they canceled. For some weird reason. It was awesome. They need to bring that back in some way. YouTube or something. But in 1973, a weird little man checked into one of those old school hotels here, somewhere here downtown, and by the next day or so, or within a few days, he strapped some dynamite to himself and put on a mask and all that, and he robbed the Imperial Bank of Commerce. Held it up, and I guess somehow an alarm got sounded or something, and the police showed up. And this was 1973. This is just over 50 years ago. The OPP didn't know how to, Ontario Provincial Police didn't know how to deal with this. So you know, they were outside waiting, and I'm trying to remember if they're trying to negotiate or something. But the guy got a bunch of money, 6 figures, I think, and he came out holding his dead man switch, dead man, quote, and an OPP sniper shot him, and he blew up right downtown, caused a lot of damage. One cop got pretty injured and had to be released from the OPP. Just an intriguing story, a weird little guy that I don't think they ever figured out exactly who he was. But if you look on YouTube, Kenora, bank robbery, 1973. W5 did an update on this and played the old footage before they got canceled. It's just fascinating. Really cool. Check it out. I think we're going to keep on going. It's just rainy and cold and yuck, and we're going to head for Manitoba. Nice looking town. I would have explored it if it was nicer out. Okay, well, I didn't see a welcome to Manitoba sign or anything, so I took a look on the maps, and apparently I'm in Manitoba, so that's the end of this video. Northwestern Ontario. Next one will be Manitoba. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on my cross-country trip. Out and about with Cactus. Bye.